again, I believe our constitutional framework really has government close to the government. That's the way it should operate, because local government, state government is more accountable, it's more efficient, it's more effective as a result. So we've, over the last 100 years or so, we've pretty well turned that constitutional construct on its head, where now the federal government is sort of the 800-pound gorilla in the room. That's unfortunate. Conservatives in particular have taken our eye off the ball when it comes to local government. We don't run for local office. We run for, and we support federal candidacy. We need to start paying attention to local level. I think a lot of people are concerned about what we're teaching in our schools. It's because liberals control our school boards. We need conservatives on those school boards to bring a little bit more balance. So again, I'm just trying to, as I go around the state, encourage conservatives, encourage Republicans to not ignore the local office, but get fully engaged in their communities. Whether it's on volunteer basis, volunteer organizations, or for elected office. It's extremely important. It's what Alexis Tocqueville noticed about America and wrote about. What made us strong was our local civic organizations.
What are some of the things you hope are addressed prior to the 2022 election?
In terms of the elections?
Yes.
Yeah, just restoring voting integrity. I think everybody wants to make voting easy. Again, I talked about my own concern about expanding early voting or making it too early. Ought to be somewhat condensed around election day so that people have all the information. But aside from that, we want to make voting easy, but we want to make it easy to vote but hard to cheat. And I don't think that's necessarily true on the other side of the aisle. The way they tried to expand what the Baker-Carter Commission called the greatest threat for fraud, absentee balloting, while at the same time reducing the controls. That would concern me. So I think that's what concerns an awful lot of people that are concerned about the result in November 2020. So we should address those concerns. It's an unsustainable state of affairs to have tens of millions of Americans not recognize that the election is legitimate. And we had 4 years of Democrats, liberals not recognizing that President Trump was legitimate. You had the whole Russian hoax, and I would say very dishonest reporting from that standpoint that fueled all that. But now you've got the situation now after November 2020. Again, I tried to address it with integrity. Held the hearing. We laid out what we found. We should keep digging into these things as well. You just can't dismiss this stuff. I mean, the fact that state legislators haven't been able to obtain ballots to review them. What's going on there? I mean, this should be completely transparent. There shouldn't have to be court fights. The fact that there are court fights over an auditing process gets people to question things. So there are a lot of things that we need to enact in terms of transparency, but it's all has to be centered on restoring confidence. And the way you restore confidence is by making sure that only legitimate votes count. That you have controls in place. I mean, that's just very reasonable. We can't keep going this way where one side or the other questions the results of the election.